Hello everybody and welcome to the midweek market update from Smack the Markets for the 22nd of January. So we're halfway through the Davos week. We've got Mr. Trump's impeachment inquiry, which already started now this week. And we've got the US equity markets, particularly the Nasdaq, pushing on to yet again all-time highs. And the dollar has strengthened at the first half of this week as well. So let's take a look at a few markets here the markets that we discussed on Monday and the opportunities that we discussed there, and also some new opportunities that we're looking at going into the second half of the week. So if we come and take a look at the Nasdaq, first of all, again on Monday, we were looking at this market, looking for the bull trend here to continue. You can see that this market's been in a very nice strong trend, as indeed all of the US equity markets have. And what we were looking for here, we started to see a bit of weakness coming into the market, and it was quite extended from the after the sort of recent leg of the trend. So we were looking for a retracement, and the retracement levels that we could see were cleanest and on the Nasdaq compared to the S&Ps and the Dow. So I highlighted and discussed opportunities around this sort of 9100 level. We can see that the market did actually retrace back into the moving average zone, back into our fair value zone, which also bounced off this level. Also, there was a number of sort of analysis levels at this point here as well, particularly a 50% retracement of that recent leg of the trend as well. So we can see that the market's now sort of rallied on and made new highs again. And we play these markets on intraday timeframes, trading in the direction of the swing trend here, obviously to the long side. We also play them on swing plays as well. So at the moment here, the market's now pushed on to new highs. It's sort of still in the same sort of condition. It's a bit stretched from the fair value areas. So we're not looking at new swing positions whilst the market is extended up here. We'd rather be waiting for pullbacks into those sort of value areas again. So the sort of thing that we would look for is sort of retracements back into sort of structure levels. We've got a bit of a level here that's formed around that sort of just underneath that sort of 9200 level here. Again, that's the sort of area where we might start to look for a bit of support if the market sort of retraces back here on some of these swing timeframes. In the meantime, we're still happy to trade these markets on intraday timeframes and just looking at taking the intraday price action. Now, on Monday also, we were looking at gold, and we're looking for gold to move higher, and particularly sort of a breakout of this sort of level. Now that we've been talking about gold long for a couple of weeks now, we were already positioned in gold from last week, and that trade played out sort of quite nicely after the market sort of spiked up here, and we got that rally. Now, since then, the market's sort of come back down. It's sort of closed out any sort of remaining positions that we had open, and we've sort of gone back into this sideways consolidation. So from here, we're not sort of favoring new opportunities on gold just at the moment. We'll rather wait for this to sort of clean up its price action. One of the metals, though, that we think is a little bit more interesting here is platinum. Now we can see that platinum here from the weekly time frame is already in a very nice strong trend. We've got nice, very strong momentum on this market, and we just want to highlight this sort of 1000 level on this market. And you can see that there's been previous sort of support and resistance around that 1000 level for quite some time. Now the market's just actually retraced back into that level. If we come and have a look at this on the daily time frame, again, if I mark in that sort of 1000 level, which is just around here, you can see that the market recently on the daily time frame has respected and tested that level. Now at the moment, price has now rallied through it, pulled back to it, and it's in the context of a very good trend and also nice geometry as well. So potentially we're looking here to see, is this going to be a potential turning point? Is this going to be support? Are we going to see a next leg of this trend to the high side? If we come down to the 4-hour time frame, again, let's mark in our sort of 1000 level. You can see how precisely the market sort of tested that level, and the fact that we've had these rejections underneath the level as well. Just although the trend here on the 4-hour time frame is more short than than long, this is sort of demonstrating sort of possible areas of possible sort of pattern here that market may well be finding support here. And if it does and finds a turning point here, then we could be looking for that trend to continue on those higher time frames. We'll be looking for higher prices here on the platinum market. So this is one that we're keeping a close eye on going into the second half of the week. Now, coming over to the currency markets, on Monday, we were talked about Great British Pound against the US dollar here. We were looking for this market to weaken off. Again, the sort of levels that we were looking at is underneath this sort of 29,800 level, just underneath that key 130 level, and looking for the sort of daily trend here to continue to the short side. Now, whilst the daily trend hasn't really sort of technically invalidated at the moment, the market didn't sort of follow through with that. So we didn't get the continued selling. We didn't get any sort of opportunity short here on sterling markets. In fact, at the moment, the market sort of bounced off this level. So this one, again, what sort of caused this was positive economic data out of the UK, good unemployment numbers. I think it was that really sort of was one of the key drivers here. So we're certainly not looking at short opportunities on the on sterling markets at the moment. Now, one of the others that sterling markets that we are more interested in, though, is Great British Pound against the Aussie. This one is starting to look much more interesting on the long side. Now, if we come to the weekly chart, you can see that on this market, the market's already in a well-structured long trend, and is already within a nice move here onto, well, the market needs to make new highs or equal highs here for the trend to continue. So still plenty of distance to the long side. If we come down to the daily time frame, we can see that on the daily, the market has sort of turned around. We started to get the structure of a long trend here. Again, the market's got to push on to new highs here in order for that trend to continue. And we've just broken through a bit of a level here that you can see where there's been previous support and resistance on the daily time frame. So again, just demonstrating that there is still strength in this market, significant strength in this market to push through that potential resistance level. Now, if we come down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we've got well-established trends here. We've also got trading windows here that the market's nicely in between. We've broken through that level here again, and we've got, if I just sort of zoom back, you can see that we've got sort of plenty of distance here to close the next trading window, and then beyond that we've got another trading window up there towards that 193 level. So again, here on Great British Pound against the Aussie, looking for long opportunities for as long as these trends continue to the long side. So there's a few opportunities that we're keeping a close eye on in the trading room going into the second half of this week. I certainly hope it helps, and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.